Please welcome Clare and Jessey.
Life is like a compass. It seems to push us in a certain direction. But just because there's this certain direction doesn't mean that getting there is so simple. In fact, my life path has been quite complicated. I've had to face rocks, a storm, and even sharks. So, let's imagine our first day entering high school. More work, more stress, new people, new teachers, and for some, physically a new school. That's a lot to take in already, isn't it? Well, I'm optimistic, so I entered high school with a positive attitude. But as high school began and it continued, I realized that my grades started to slip and assignments that came so easy to my friends seemed very hard and almost impossible for me. So I went up to my family and I asked them about these problems, and I wondered if everything was okay. So they decided to get me tested to see if maybe I learned differently than everyone else, and maybe that was the reason why I was struggling in school. When I got those test results back, this was the spark, the moment of impact that changed my life forever. I had a learning disability, a language-based one. I had trouble with reading, I had weak vocabulary, I could barely write an outline, I was horrible at test taking, bad at math, I couldn't follow directions well, and I have short-term memory, hence why I have a flashcard. In fact, as a freshman in high school, I was reading at the level of a 6th grader. So, life's unfair, isn't it? Why do I have to face this challenge? Why do I have this big rock in front of me? Well, I said before I'm optimistic, right? So, I tried to find something positive, even though the situation was so negative. And I didn't want my learning disability to hold me down. I didn't want people to think that I wasn't capable of things, or that I was stupid because I had a learning disability. In fact, a learning disability has nothing to do with your IQ level. It simply means that you learn differently. So, I didn't want to make this an excuse. So I decided to do 2 things to help me overcome this challenge. The first was working hard. And not just working hard, working harder than most of my peers, because I had to overcome the challenges of high school itself and this learning disability. And the second thing, creativity. So, with a lot of work, I decided I wanted to make the work fun for me. And so I did. I started making a lot of videos for projects. I made videos and I dressed up as a professor, like in the example above. And I also taught myself videos on math, English, history, and science. I thought that if I could teach myself how to do it, then I must truly know how to do it. I learned that making videos was so fun for me, and therefore it was fun for my audience to watch when I presented in school. And I realized also that when exams came around, that I could just simply watch my videos and understand them very clearly. I also made videos on the water crisis that we have in the world, and on 9/11, and other things that interest me outside of school, and made videos so I could fully understand the meaning of them. My Post-it note videos, like shown above, also helped me because I was a visual learner. And what I realized is that having little pictures on Post-it notes helped me understand ideas even more than I already did. But you're probably wondering, I'm an artist, so creativity must come so easy, right? But let's review that. I think everybody in this room right now is creative. I think everybody has the ability to be creative, even if you're somebody who's far from artistic. If you're somebody who has a job that works at numbers every day, or you're in a science lab, you can still be creative in your thinking process. But I learned a truer importance of creativity. I learned that when I had to face a challenge, that it triggered my creativity and my creative process. I like to compare this creativity with a luck done by a psychologist, Richard Wiseman. What Richard did was he took a pool of people, some who considered themselves lucky and some who considered themselves unlucky, and he asked them to count the number of photographs in the newspaper. What he found was that people who were so-called unlucky, it took them about 5 minutes to count all the pictures in the newspaper. And those who considered themselves lucky, it took them about a few seconds. This was because people who consider themselves lucky are looking out for those chance opportunities and not so focused on just the main purpose, which was counting the number of pictures. But those who are unlucky were so focused on just getting the number of pictures that they lost track of the little details outside of the main goal. So I found that I created my own luck. I found that because of my learning disability and because I had to find other ways around the path, that I was always looking out for those chance opportunities and therefore considered myself lucky, even though I was in such an unlucky situation. So we're all so focused on the grade in school, right? We all want A+, and we even want extra credit. But let's not forget why we go to school. We go to school to learn how to learn. And that's what's more important. I find that having these chance opportunities has taught me how to learn best and the resources that I need, and that it wasn't always about the grade. So this leads me to my next point, multiple choice. I'm horrible at multiple choice. I can't count the number of times that I failed because of multiple choice. And you're probably wondering why I'm up here standing telling you about a weakness. But I have a theory. With multiple choice, they're asking you to pick the one best answer. So it could be A, or it could be C, or it could be B. But what if all the answers could work? What if A and B could both work? And that's why multiple choice is hard for me. Because I always seem to find a way that A, B, and C could all work, and therefore I'm torn between the three. So why is a learning disability the best thing that's ever happened to me? Why does it deserve this first place trophy? Well, because of my learning disability, I find that I'm prepared for life. This is the original iPod, and it came out when I was a kindergartner. And now as a senior in high school, we have the iPhone 5S. So in technology alone, look at the progression. So we can't predict 14 years from now. I can't even predict tomorrow. But I know one thing stays constant no matter what. And that's life can throw you curveballs. Every single person in this room has a weakness and will have to face challenges in life. But if you mix your passions, in my case, my artistic ability, and your strengths, in my case, my work ethic, you can overcome any challenge that life throws at you. But consider this, be patient, because you may not overcome that challenge overnight, and you may not overcome that challenge in a week or a year. It might take a long time. But have resilience and don't give up. Keep going, and I promise you will overcome your challenge, and I promise you will be prepared for the rest of your life. Thank you.